So now let's look at the expression. Whenever you encounter the word expression in DAX, what does that mean? Whenever we encounter that word expression in DAX, what does it mean? Now, expression in DAX means whenever you come across expression in DAX, it's asking for an expression. Whenever you come across a function in DAX, it's asking for an expression. It means a number of things. We are going to take them one after. We're going to take them one after the other. Now, like let's use the average function. For instance, let's assume I'm looking for the average. The average function asks two arguments. One is a table argument, which I've explained the meaning of a table argument. That is either you provide a table name for that, or you provide an expression that will be evaluated to a table. That will give you a table as an output as a result. Now, the next is what the expression. Now, what does expression mean in that? Now, whenever you come across that input or that argument or that term's expression in that, it could mean something like this: provide a column name. Now, for instance, I'm interested in knowing the sales, the average sales of a product standard cost. Let me explain that. Let me go to that. Average sales of a product standard cost. Now, in my table in that, I have a table known as products, and I have a column known as standard cost. I'm interested in knowing the average product cost. Okay, if I'm interested to know the average product cost in that, so I can decide to do it this way. I can decide to use the average function in that, and the product standard cost. Okay, I can decide to do that in that. Recall, average is going to give me a single value, so I have to use my curly bracket. Okay, I click and hit on run. Then when I hit on run, it gives me the average about 436.45. Okay, now, so if I can also decide that, okay, I don't want to use the average function, but rather I want to use the average x function in that. Average x function in that. Okay, now the average x function adds two arguments. The first is the table argument. Okay, fine. The table I'm interested in product. The other one is what? The expression. Recall, I'm interested in the product. I'm interested in the standard cost, the column, the standard cost column. I'm interested in the standard cost column. So I input that in that, and since it's going to give me a single value, I make use of the curly bracket. I click on this, and if you can see, it gives me the same value. Now, this second one needs two arguments. The first argument is a same argument. The second one is an expression. So whenever you see the word expression in that formula, it could mean a column name. It could mean a column name. Okay, let's look at another meaning of that word expression in that. It could also mean other things, not just only a column name. Okay, now let's look at this average again. In this particular case, I'm looking for the average, but in this case, I'm subtracting the sales unit price minus the sales discount price. Okay, let's try that. Let's see. Okay, let's see how that works. I'm still interested in that term. I'll evaluate. Okay, average x. Okay, it makes two arguments. So the first argument, let's say, is a sales table, because I have a table here known as sales table. And the second argument is a sales. I have a sales. These are the various columns you can see in sales table. There's a column known as sales unit price minus the sales unit price minus the sales discount price. Now you can see that. Type in bracket close. Since the average is just going to give me a single value, I type my curly bracket and I hit on run. Okay, that gives me the average. So when I go to the sales table here, I have the sales table here. In that sales table, I have a column known as the unit price column. This is a unit price column. I have a column known as the cost and the unit price discount column, discount price column. Now, that is going to subtract the value from this column from the value from this column. It's going to keep it for each row and it's going to add everything together and returns the average to you. That is exactly what I did. So whenever you see that also that word expression, you could also mean something like this. A column subtracts another column in that. So that's another meaning of the word expression. Also, that word expression also could mean some other things, a lot of things in that. Let's just check some example. Now let's see another example here. We have a calculate. Okay, let's see. Let's try that. The calculate function. Now using the calculate function, evaluate. Now I want to use the calculate function. Now the calculate function has two arguments. The first argument is what? The expression. In this particular case, I could just say I need the sum of sales amounts. Okay? And then, since it's going to give me a single value, I'm just going to add that up and run that. You can see the value about 109 something. So when you see expression, the word expression also could mean using a function. I think sum of sales, it could be the minimum value of sales. I could say I need the minimum value of sales, not necessarily sum. It could be using a function. And I run this. It gives me the minimum value of sales amount. So whenever you see the word expression in DAX argument, it also means something like this, introducing a function to get the value of this. So initially I make use of the sum and run this. Okay, that gives me that. So I could decide to run the sum function. Let's use the sum function itself. Evaluates. Okay, I have sum sales amount. Okay, since it's going to give me similar value, I like this and I hit on the run. You can see both gave me the same value. So whenever you come across the word expressions, also means something like that in that. The word expression could mean a lot of things in that, but those are just a few of that in that whenever you come across the word expression. Now let's see filter. When you come across the word filter in that, when we did the calculate table, we came across the word filter in that. What does that mean? Okay, let's see. I have evaluate. Okay, I make use of the calculate function. Okay, the calculate function has two arguments. One is expression. I'll explain the meaning of expression. So let's assume we need something like this: sales amount. Then the next is what filter. Now, whenever you come across the word filter in that, it means to produce, give either you make use of an expression that will filter the results of this particular table. Now, when I use a sales amount, it's going to give me about 109809274.2. But I don't want all this whole amount. I'm not interested in the sales amount of this. So whenever you say filter, you are trying to filter the outputs, the results that that is going to return. So for instance, I used filter. Yeah. Okay, let's say filter. So that filter could mean something like this. Could mean product, let's assume product color equals to blue. Or let's say black. Okay. Now in this case, I'm telling that I need the total sales, amount for the products that are black. Those products that are black in color, I need their total sales amount. Now you can see that filter this value is not going to give me the same thing with this. So whenever you see the word filter, it means to provide an expression, a Boolean expression, okay, that when evaluated, it will filter the output. Okay, now let me use my curly brackets, because since I'm expecting a single value, sorry, let me see. The filter is incorrect. Okay, let me highlight this again and run it. Okay, you can see it that's giving me the average. So the word expression could mean the word filter could mean a lot of things. Now, you can see the argument it said filter. I can either use that filter or I can use any of the filter in DAX. I could use I could use a function known as filter in DAX. There's a lot of filter function in DAX. We have the filter function, we have the remove filter function, we have the keep filter function. Let me just take us to some. So I selected value is a filter function in DAX. Remove filter is a filter function in DAX. Local val is a filter function in DAX. Other by is a filter function. Lookup is a filter function. So whenever you see that word filter, that argument filter, either you provide an expression that will filter it, or you provide any of those filter in DAX. Either the keep filter, remove filter, call filter, and so on and so forth. For instance, I can use, okay, let me use a filter here. I wanted to use the filter. Now, I have provided the table name, and I have another one again, filter expression. We are coming to that. What does that mean in DAX? The other one is talking about filter. This one is talking about filter expression. Now, when you talk about filter means you can use a filter expression, or you can use one of the filter function in DAX. So when I come to filter expression, it means an expression that will filter the value of this particular thing. It could be one of the filter function in DAX. It could also mean what I used earlier here, that I said product color equals to black. It could also mean that in DAX. So let me do what I wanted to do earlier on. So we have this argument here, filter. We've already seen one meaning of it. We can also use all function here. All is a filter function in DAX. Now, this all function is requesting for a single argument, while the other arguments are optional. And the argument is requesting for the table name or the column name. That's the argument is requesting for. Requesting for the table name or the column name. That's the argument is asking for. So I can say filter, I say all filter. I could decide to use, let me say, sales territory, country, bracket closed, and I use my curly bracket. Since it's going to give me a single value and I hit the run, you can see that. Now, let me copy this and let me run it. I'm going to copy that. Let me take it to this part and let me try to run it there. Okay, let me try to run that there. I click on new measure. This is giving me a single value, which is a scalar value. I clicked on new measure because it's a measure, it's measuring something. Okay, I don't need a curly bracket here. I don't need a curly bracket and the evaluate function here. All I need is just the name. Let's say sales on, let's say on. Equals to. Okay. I hit on enter. When I hit on enter, you can see that here I drag and drop. I use this card 1, 2, 3 to change it. Now that's the value. Okay, once I click on a filter here and I click on the country, because in my I make use of country here or selected country. Now, what this means that whichever country that is selected, return this value. That's what it means. So I want to use the filter there. I go to the sales territory table. This is the sales territory table. I have a column known as filter there. I drag and I drop there. Now I click on any column, any country. Whichever country I click, it still gives me the same value. Why? Because I make use of the all value. But if I make use of another argument there, if I change what is there, instead of using all, I can say all except. Now it's still asking for one argument, which is just the table name or the column name. Okay? All except. Either I provide the table name, the first is a table name, then the column name. Okay, the table name is sales territory. And the column name is what? The country column. But I have to reference the name of the table first. Okay, I hit on the enter button here. So I hit on the enter button. So I said all except. Now, this gives me the value for all for the sales, except the one I clicked on. Okay, let me click on this. Let me turn that into a table. And let me bring the sales. Now, this is the sales amount. I have the sales value here. That's the sales amount. I drag and drop there. Then this that I calculated. Now, this that I calculated, recall, I just calculated that. And I make use of all except. I drag and drop there. So the moment I click on this, you can see it gives me the sales amount It removes the sales amount for the rest, except for this. It works the same way with this. Now, why this? The first one that I used, the first that we used, the first one that okay, this that okay. Let me copy this. Okay, let me go to new. Let me paste this there, and let me call this 2. But this time around, I'm going to remove, I'm using all. Now the all argument here is asking for just the column or a table name. So let me say sales territory. Conflict. Okay. And I hit on the enter button. When I hit on the enter button, let me remove this. We'll see the difference between both. Drag and drop here. Now you can see this gives me all the same value. When I click on this, you can see this gives me the total sales value. So that's the difference between. So whenever you see that argument in that same filter, either you provide an expression that filters the table, either it provides an expression like this, or you provide an expression for all. Yeah, I'm going to go offline. I'm going to send you another link so that we can continue with our link. When you look at some of the more meaning of expression, when you see that same expression in that, what does that mean? Whenever you come across that argument, expression in that. So I'm going to go offline now. I'm going to post another link in the WhatsApp.